Hello mirrors. So today we are going to be looking at what cycles do you need to end. Now when you find this video, whatever cycle or cycles come up in this reading, understand that it is your responsibility to end these cycles. They will not be fated, to end, because it's ultimately up to you. You are the master of your reality. So definitely take this as advice and understand that in order to change these cycles, you do need to switch your mindset, switch some of your behaviors, that kind of thing. But this can give you some information on what those cycles may be. So if you're new here, welcome. It's a Law of Attractions and Mirrors Tarot, where we use the cards as a tool to help integrate the fragments of ourselves into one so we can self-actualize into the people we were born to become. With this knowledge, we can begin to manifest all of our deepest desires if we simply take responsibility for our power. If you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of my family. And if you're interested in a private reading, that information will be down below in the description box. But without further ado, I do want to talk about this reading a little bit. So often in life we go through cycles, and this is because of our mental state. It's because of our limiting beliefs, karma, lessons that are meant to be learned. So oftentimes we will continuously go through various cycles, the same types of things. You'll meet the same type of people, go through the same kind of experiences. This isn't a punishment or something that you're doomed to encounter forever. It is simply a way for the universe to show you in the 3D ways in which you're limiting yourself. So this reading should give you some idea of what the main cycle or multiple cycles that you're ready to end. But as I said, ultimately that will be up to you. But let's go through each pile. The first pile will be this beautiful snowflake obsidian. Second is this tiger's eye, also very beautiful. And the third pile, is this hematite heart. Oh wow, you could see my reflection for a second. Okay, so it probably wasn't the most flattering angle. Okay, but anyway, go ahead and look in the description box below or the comments to pick whatever stone or multiple stones that you resonate with, and you can click down below to go straight to the reading, but I'm going to go ahead and start off with the first pile. Hello pile 1, if you picked the snowflake obsidian, this will be for you. Let's see what cycles that you're ready to break. So we have gatekeeper, fairy time shifts, dimensional slips into the reverse. Okay, wow. We have retreat, it's time to disconnect from the world. That's in the reverse. Show the world the real you, also in the reverse. I'm not reading reversals on all of them, but I do often for these 3 piles. So we have unconditional love, the divine mother. I'm going to make sure I can fit everything in here. Okay, I have the Fool in the reverse. And I have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. Look at this, these stars that are arranged right here. It's kind of interesting. We have Pride. We have Angel of Love. Jump in. Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. We have Kambaba Jasper, which I will tell you about. We have the Magician in the reverse. And Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, a lot to say here. Okay, so with gatekeeper in reverse, oftentimes this does talk about difficulty being on time. So you may actually just have difficulty being on time to certain things that you say that you're going to be here at this time and you arrive 5 minutes late. That kind of energy. It doesn't have to be that, but if you do have that problem, it is important to break that cycle, because that is your word. That's how other people perceive you, and you saying your word like you're going to be there at a certain time and you don't, or whatever. You're not there for appointments. It inconveniences other people. It makes them not trust you. It makes you not trust yourself. So for some of you, that could definitely be something that you're ready to break, a cycle you're ready to break. It can also have to do with not understanding that time is not linear, okay? Time is, I mean, look into quantum physics and some of that. It's kind of complex to talk about here in a reading, but time isn't linear. A very simple way for me to explain this is, imagine that you are doing something that you love and you spend 12 hours doing it, but those 12 hours literally seem like you know, maybe 1 or 2 hours, versus if you're stuck doing a job that you hate, you could be in an 8-hour shift that feels like 3 days. Okay, so in conjunction to that, I'm not exactly sure what that would be specifically, but I do want to keep going into the reading and kind of build. So we have retreat in the reverse. It's time to disconnect from the world. So it is in the reverse. So perhaps you're a type of person that is always trying to get away from life, okay? You're always retreating, you're always in hermit mode, or when times are difficult, you do kind of go in hermit mode, and you'd rather be away from problems rather than deal with them. It's very important to get out of that cycle, because I do think that oftentimes we use getting away as a coping mechanism. Yes, sometimes it's really important for us to get away when we're overly emotional or anything like that. This is really saying it's time to break that cycle. It's not always the best thing to just disconnect and to get away from everything. It's important to deal with your challenges. Let's see, we have show the world the real you, and it's in the reverse. So yeah, definitely you may have trouble with authenticity. You may have trouble being true to yourself, being true to others, being honest. Of course, this usually is kind of related to fear. It's important that if you have trouble showing the real you, that you start bit by bit in your life to open up and to start showing more pieces of you. It's honestly, it's very much worth it, but I do understand how difficult it is. But right after that, we have the Divine Mother, which is unconditional love. So universe really asking to bring unconditional love to yourself. Oftentimes we don't want to show the real us because we don't fully love ourselves for who we are. So the universe is saying in order to feel this energy, it's important to connect with that feeling of unconditional love. So no matter what you've done in the past, who you are, who you've hurt, or what things that you've done that you may have regrets, love yourself regardless, because that is how you move forward. It's impossible to move forward if you don't have that true love for yourself, because oftentimes if we don't love ourselves, we aren't going to push ourselves forward. We don't think we're really worth it. It's kind of like if you meet somebody and they turn out to be a terrible person, or someone that you don't really like, you don't think that they're worth the energy. Well, you can't view yourself that way, especially because just because you've done something in the past, or even if you have limiting beliefs now or things that you don't like about yourself, in order to change those, you need to love yourself enough to be willing to make those changes. And that's a cycle that you would have to break out of. The Fool, it talks about immaturity, okay? And the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse talks about being unwilling to change the immaturity, because Knight of Pentacles upright is very much like every day they're making strides. I always say Knight of Pentacles is like the slow and steady wins the race. They're always making progress. Even if they take one step every day, they know that if they consistently put the energy in, that it will change. But we have it right here with the Fool in the reverse, which again, and of course Knight of Pentacles being in the reverse. So this is saying that your concept, like who you are as a soul, is kind of immature, and that's not a bad thing. That means that there's so much more. So think about how far you've come, but also at the same time, because like you're not so the Fool upright would be like starting on a journey. You're not starting this journey. You've already been through so much, okay? You've already accomplished so much. So you're not at the beginning of your journey, but you have to understand that there's more to go, okay? And that is going to take steps every day. So you may be the type of person that feels like you need to take these huge strides in order to make a difference, and you absolutely don't have to, okay? It's more beneficial for you to take many small steps than, you know, it's more beneficial for you to take, say in a year, 365 small steps versus 1 or 2 big steps during those same 365 days. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, so after that we have pride, which is kind of self-explanatory. This is an ego thing. So a cycle that universe is really saying, you're ready to break out of your ego, you're ready to break out of your shell, you're ready to move forward outside of what you've always kind of connected with. You've defined yourself as a certain way, maybe certain thoughts, certain actions, certain people, certain just many limitations, and it makes you prideful at some point when something threatens your belief or, you know, your identity. But universe is saying you are a multidimensional, unlimited being of, you know, created from source energy. So break out of that. That's how you're going to be able to move forward out of these cycles. And again, how are you going to do it? Love. This is the second time we have love. We have the unconditional love and we have the angel of love, the divine mother and the angel of love. So this is just completely reiterating how important it is for you to bring love to break out of the cycle. We have jump in, Andromedan energy, adventure, say yes to change. So it's funny because, you know, I asked about cycles. What cycles are you ready to break or you need to break? And the universe is just saying, yes, it's time to change. These cycles that you're going through, they're self-perpetuating. And if you're ready to change and you say yes to change and you move forward towards change, like that Knight of Pentacles energy, then it's going to happen. Like, it's basically a mindset and it's a decision. And it can even start as simple as your mind, okay? And it's also as simple as, again, showing the world the real you, being authentic. When you're more authentic in yourself and as much as you can be with other people, that is going to just create change in and of itself. Let's see. Then we have the Kambaba, I believe it's called, jasper. So this stone is literally about clearing the karmic patterns of your ancestors, okay? So understand that, yes, you are struggling with cycles, but also understand that they come from your lineage initially. Like, we pass on our traumas and our curses and I don't like the word curse, but you know what I mean, like just our hardships. If we don't overcome them, we pass them on to our progeny. And this is saying that you may have some things from the past to break, but that's okay. It's interesting. We have Divine Mother, and right underneath we have this, which is about breaking ancestral trauma. So this could literally be something from your mother, but it doesn't have to be. If that resonates for you, great, because it could specifically be talking about that. But I guarantee it's more than just your mother. It's your entire ancestral line. It's also about when you change how you view life, then you just automatically improve your well-being, your health, all of that. So you may want to get the stone. I've never heard of this stone in particular. I'm sure jasper by itself can actually help heal some of this. But again, I pulled these cards not necessarily for the stones, but a lot of times it's simply for the information that that stone can hold. So there's definitely some ancestral change you're breaking, which is great because that's big energy. That's a big deal. So we have the Magician in the reverse, as well as the Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. Now, this plain and simple tells me that you may not believe in your ability to manifest. You may be stuck in a mindset that you're stuck in patterns because it's just how it is. You aren't taking responsibility. And of course, with pride here, I see that too. You may not be fully understanding that you do have the ability to change things. And I can't change your mind on that, but I do recommend watching things about law of attraction. It can really help you understand how powerful you are. You are not powerless to change these cycles. You are not powerless to change your life. You are the exact opposite. You are the Magician, and it is simply going to be moving forward focusing on love, jumping into new opportunities, not being authentic, taking steps every day. These are all things that I preach often on my channel, and most of them came up. So I would kind of recommend maybe checking out some of my other pick cards, some of my other videos. They may actually help you out with this message, but definitely check out some Law of Attraction if you feel drawn to this message, because this reading is really saying, especially at the end, these two cards together, the Magician in the reverse, Ace of Pentacles in the reverse, both saying that you just don't believe that you have the ability to plant seeds and enact change, but you totally do. And I'm really confident that you can break out of these cycles, because it ultimately, the power lies within you. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Again, if you are interested in a reading, that information is down below. And yeah, that's it, guys. I love you. Hello, Pile 2. If you picked this beautiful tiger's eye, this will be for you. Let's see what cycles you're ready to break. The gift. A present and offer, nurturance, growth, potential. We have flirt, extend your lighthearted energy to others in the reverse. Take time to breathe out. Move your body. Thank you, angels, for motivating me to move my body and energy. Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. And Four of Wands. Victim consciousness. I pulled that card recently. I don't get it a lot, so wow. Third chakra, Archangel Chamuel. Play. It's funny, this came out in reverse with the flirt. I don't read these in reverse, but I do think this is reiterating that message from earlier. Have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Priscilla Bluestone, which we'll talk about. King of Pentacles. And the Fool. Okay. So one of the messages, I always like to point out the obvious messages first. So we have flirt in the reverse, extend your lighthearted energy to others. And we have play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. Okay, so it's kind of hard to tell, because it could be multiple things for multiple people. You may be overly serious, or you may be too playful. It also may be that you just are not serious at appropriate times. Maybe when things are really tough, you don't take it into account, like how serious it is. And with and other times you may actually be really serious whenever things are, things are meant to be really lighthearted. So maybe taking things too personally, but we're going to go into this because there is victim consciousness. So that last part where I said about taking things offensively, think about it. Okay, you're creating your reality. If you don't believe this, I mean, you are on my channel, Law of Attractions and Mirrors Tarot, and this is the basis for how I read tarot, is through the Law of Attraction. So you do manifest your reality. I strongly believe that. Just go with the flow, take what resonates. If you're not ready to hear this message, it's okay. But if people are treating you badly, if people are not treating you right, it is because that is where your energy is. So if you're always looking for something to be offended by, upset by, which I kind of get with the play in the reverse, flirt in the reverse, then you are creating your reality. You're going to create more circumstances where this is true. So with the gift paired with victim consciousness, that really makes me feel like, you're ready to understand that the gift is that when you get out of victim consciousness and you move from victim consciousness to third chakra, because third chakra is about the solar plexus, which is, that's your identity, your center. This is what makes you brave and courageous, and where you feel very powerful in yourself. These cards are complete opposites. This didn't come up in the reverse, which makes me feel like you're so close to this that you may not realize how close you are to feeling like yourself, feeling in your power. definitely ready to break out of this victim consciousness. Well, let's see what else we have. Take time to breathe out. And then we have move your body. Again, two very opposite cards in my opinion, the way I see it. I see them as, you know, taking time to breathe, but then moving your body. So again, I feel like maybe you might have some issues with inappropriate energy. You know, when it's time to chill out and settle down, and you know, maybe when you're upset over whatever you're having maybe limiting thoughts on, and you're very rambunctious or angry, or you know, that kind of thing, where it's like it would be better for you to sit down and meditate, to breathe, take care of yourself. Maybe that's when you are, you know, you're not doing that, versus move your body. Maybe there are times where it'd be healthier for you to move around, to maybe exercise, get up and go for a walk, go out with friends, whatever it is. You may not be doing that. Okay, so the lesson I'm really getting from this, and the cycle I'm really getting from this, is sometimes we get stuck in those types of energy because we're in victim consciousness, and because they just feel right to us, okay? They just, not right, but they feel comfortable. They feel comfortable to us. And the universe is saying it's time to break out of that cycle. Get out of your comfort zone, because that is what's going to get you out of the victim consciousness. It's what's going to make life a lot more flowy for you, a lot easier for you. Then we have Nine of Pentacles, and we have Four of Wands. Okay, we have Nine of Pentacles in the reverse. So Nine of Pentacles is always, in my eyes, someone who's very independent by themselves. With it being in the reverse, it may mean that you depend often on others. With King of Pentacles underneath it, you may actually be a woman or a feminine energy that is dependent on a masculine energy to provide for you. And the universe is saying that you're ready to take on more. I mean, it may even be for some of you guys that you're ready to move out, because I see move your body. It's kind of like move on to the next thing, move on to be more independent. And you either may be moving into King of Pentacles energy, or you may be getting out of a King of Pentacles energy and taking care of yourself. And this really speaks to me, because Four of Wands is like this happy home card. It's also a manifestation card. And then the Fool is like starting a new adventure. So a lot of you actually are ready to move out, maybe from where you are, maybe to move to a new place, move in with someone else, or move out of parents' house, or maybe out of a relationship where you're mistreated, or you just don't, it's making you feel dependent, is what I'm hearing. This doesn't have to be that, though. This could just be moving out of energy where you don't understand that you have more power than you truly believe. You feel like you're always going to be dependent on other things, other people, that kind of thing. So then we have the Priscilla Bluestone. So I'm just going to go ahead and read this straight from the book, at least the divination part. It says, use natural medicine for ailments. Pay attention to your boundaries. Dig deep into the past. Access your memories and cut yourself free. Examine your deepest intentions and roots. Live in the present moment. Find your own direction and face challenges with equanimity. You have the power to decide. Pay particular attention to your environment. Being true to yourself is the basis of all well-being, spiritual and physical, which is interesting because we got a similar message in the first pile. Okay, so you may be needing to break free of other people's boundaries. I felt like the first pile was more about them limiting themselves, like as far as being scared and all of that. And the problem they felt was themselves, like they were feeling bad for themselves, like they didn't feel like good people. That's just the energy I got from the first pile. And this one seems to be more external, like it seems to be more about other people and the need to set boundaries, the need to move on when things no longer serve you, and the need to apply appropriate energy and push forward through change, even if it feels uncomfortable. But that's the main messages I'm getting for you guys. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you want a personal reading, that information will be down below. And if you're interested in looking into more readings, check out my timeless pick a card playlist. Like I just said, it's timeless, so it'll be appropriate anytime you choose to watch it, whether it be tonight or 5 years from now. But that's it, guys. I love you. Hello, pile 3. If you picked this very reflective hematite that showed my face earlier, let's see what cycles you're ready to break out of, or you need to break out of. Beauty's truth, beauty, physical pleasure, sensuality. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. A win-win outcome is a forecast. The divine physician. Thank you, Raphael, for shining your divine light upon my healthy body. 7 of Swords in the reverse. Let's see, we have King of Pentacles, I believe. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Yes, yeah, that's King of Pentacles in the reverse. Healing. Hostilities in the reverse. The initiation, rite of passage. You are going somewhere sacred. Tiger's eye, which is funny because that was the second pile. The Tower in the reverse, and Judgment in the reverse. Okay. What cycles do you need to break out of? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give like my first message that's coming to me intuitively, but we will kind of break this down because there's many messages in here. What cycles are you ready to break? I have a feeling that a lot of you are blaming some of your problems on your past relationships or your current relationships. I'm thinking this card has maybe a lot of romantic trauma from the past. That doesn't have to be true because I'm not getting like tons of romance energy from this, but I do intuitively believe that a lot of you guys may actually be kind of stuck in a cycle because you haven't released an ex, or you've been blaming them without understanding that, you know, we all play a part in people's lives, and you know, we're not always the victim. We play our part in relationships, and you know, they're not always the ones hurting us. We sometimes hurt them as well. And it's important to look back at our past relationships, our current relationships, and understand how we affect each other, okay? But again, I'm going to take this down. So we have beauty's truth, and then we have healing. So it may be that you are feeling unattractive, okay? You're not feeling worthy. You're not feeling beautiful. And again, this may be from a past relationship. It would be a good thing to break this cycle. You're going to do it through healing, though. And healing takes conscious work. We do heal over time, but that's only because the universe brings us situations in order for us to heal. But you can consciously heal faster without needing some of these situations to get you out of your mindset. I think that's even why we have 7 of Swords in the reverse, so getting out of your deception. And when you get out of your deception, like thinking you're not worthy when you're a divine being, and if you feel that way all the time, eventually the universe is going to throw you a tower event to kind of throw you off course, so you can have a difficult situation to teach you. And if you want to avoid that, you can do conscious healing, you can do shadow work, you can do cord cutting, meditation. There's many routes to go, and I recommend doing as many as you can because you will never regret doing healing work, okay? We have Give Your Relationship a Chance and Hostilities in reverse. I'm really surprised this isn't in the Give Your Relationship a Chance isn't in the reverse, but it might be that some of you stay in toxic relationships. It could be that some of you are refusing to even consider a relationship because of what you have encountered in the past. There's a lot of different things here, but I do feel like when I say relationships, it totally doesn't have to be romantic. This could be friendships and family and coworkers, that kind of thing. We have to understand that when things are difficult, this happens because we are manifesting them to learn from them. So when we can think of it that way, and we can heal without continuously blaming the other person, and this doesn't mean we put up with abuse, absolutely not. But it means that we understand that if we're manifesting our reality and we are manifesting people that don't love us and treat us badly, we need to look at how we treat ourselves and how we think about ourselves, okay? And I know that's like controversial to say in this day and age, but really, seriously, do that. I'm not going to be ashamed of saying the truth, because it's not saying that you deserve to be treated wrongly. Actually, it's the exact opposite, because when you treat yourself better, you pull yourself out of those situations. You don't just put up with it. And it's hard. It takes us a long time. I mean, I'm just learning this myself, so I'm not speaking from like a holier than thou place, but I am speaking as someone from experience and someone who has learned that it feels way better to love myself enough to treat myself good and to accept good things, you know, and to learn from my mistakes. We have a win-win outcome is forecast. But we also have the initiation rite of passage. You are going somewhere sacred. I always pick up the you are going somewhere sacred. So this is saying if you can get out of this cycle of blaming other people, of needing to heal from past wounds, you will move forward. You'll go somewhere sacred and understand that win-win situations are possible. So again, you guys may be in a relationship right now, or like I said, you may be scared of being in a relationship because you feel like there's always a winner and loser. And that's absolutely not true. You can be in a sacred relationship where it isn't that way all the time. And I think that the universe is saying, break out of this cycle, and this is what awaits you. You're going somewhere sacred. Yeah, you are going in a place where God and love resides, okay? Where the universe can provide all of your needs, anything you can think of, anything that you desire. If you believe in it, you're willing to put the work in it and be honest with yourself. We have the divine physician, okay? So you may be needing to take care of your body. You may have been avoiding some problems in the past with your body, or just kind of ignoring issues, or not eating healthy foods, not working out. That's definitely a cycle that you're going to want to break out of, because in the long run, you know, you end up paying for it sometimes with your life. I'm not saying you're at that point now. I'm just saying it's better to do this early on. Okay, so I already explained Seven of Swords with the Tower. But then we have King of Pentacles and the Judgment in the reverse. So I feel like maybe you're misjudging your ability, again, to create the life that you want. It's funny because the tarot cards have been saying kind of similar messages each pile. And it's not understanding that you are the creator of your reality. And that's the main cycle we're all trying to break out of. And it does take time. It does take actual work towards... it's funny, I looked and it was 3333. It does take actual work to get out of this. It takes mental, changing your belief systems. It takes meditation. It takes affirmations. I mean, there are many ways to do it, but it does actually take work, and it's not just going to happen overnight. But with Judgment in the reverse, a lot of times that does talk about misjudging. It talks about being... Okay, so with Judgment, it's like this angel looking down upon these people, or they're looking up. So I always take it like, think about how big this angel is in comparison to everybody else in this picture. So if you were that angel and you could see, like, imagine not only could you see everything, like the big picture, but you could see all of the timelines and all of the possibilities. And if this person did this, this would happen. And this is what's going on in this person's head. And in the past, they did this terrible thing or whatever it is, but you understand why they did it, because they were in pain, because of their childhood, because, you know, whatever it is. This is the place that we end up getting to the more and more that we wake up. We have more compassion for people. We have understanding for ourselves. But with it being in the reverse under the King of Pentacles, and also with the Tower in reverse, that's really interesting. Because the Tower in the reverse can sometimes talk about pride. But it really feels like you're kind of like in a limited perspective, and we all are, because we're constantly expanding and expanding. And whether the universe has to force that out of us, which is a Tower event, or we decide to consciously move towards waking up. Because the more you consciously move towards waking up and being honest, the less these Tower events have to happen. So it's really funny because often Tiger's Eye can represent balancing like your needs and desires with someone else's, finding solutions, which is a big message I got throughout this reading. You may be the type of person that is blames others for their problems, that can't really see how both people can win, how to come up with negotiations. You may be kind of hard-headed, or just have always experienced people that you butted heads with. And Tiger's Eye is really meant to help empower you to understand that from a higher place of judgment. If you're manifesting a reality, that means you can create a reality, or rather you can inhabit a reality where, you know, you're able to line up with this person. And if you have to make negotiations, that it's ultimately going to be in your best favor. That doesn't mean be a doormat at all. It just means understand that mind is more potent than matter. You may want to get some Tiger's Eye right here. It's not expensive. You may want to work with it, but I pull the crystal cards not to tell you necessarily what to work with, just that I like the messages that it says, and I think it can add to a reading. But yeah, a big cycle you definitely want to work on breaking out of is not assuming that people that come into your life or what you're going to manifest is going to be the same as the past. We're always evolving. The more awake we are, the more that we will attract people on our level. And that doesn't mean that you're not going to have difficult times or challenges. That you always will. That's part of 3D reality, and it's exactly how we grow. But it's going to be different. You're going to be able to find negotiations, solutions. You're going to understand that, wow, this difficult situation came up, and you know, a few days later, now that I'm able to solve it, I'm actually really thankful that it happened. Because that's, since I've woken up, I've had more and more of that. But it's not so much resistance, not so much fighting. But that's it. That's all I have for you guys. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. Check out my timeless playlist for pick-a-cards if you want more information. You can watch them at any time. They'll always be applicable. And also, if you would like a private reading, that information is down below. But that's it, guys. I love you.